On May 7, 2025, over Kashmir, J-10C fighters piloted by Pakistani Air Force shot down 6 Indian fighters with thunderous force, a classic case of modern air warfare, like a nuclear bomb thrown into the arms market, instantly rewriting the global balance of power. The truth revealed by the actual combat data is shocking. The KL-J-7A radar carried by J-10C locks the target 260 kilometers away, and with the Thunderbolt 1-5E missiles to form a kill chain of discovery that is destroyed. The failure rate of the electronic countermeasure system of Indian Rafale is as high as 78%, and the overstall maneuvering capability given by the turbofan 10B vector engine. It has set a battlefield record of 180-degree steering in 3 seconds in the close-range fighting. The turbofan 10B's vector engine gives it the ability to maneuver in excess of stall speed, setting a battlefield record of completing a 180-degree turn within 3 seconds in close combat. When the news of the wreckage crash spread, Egypt's defense minister flew to Chengdu overnight, and within 48 hours signed a super order for 40 J-10Cs, accompanied by supporting ZDK-07 AWACS and Red Flag 9B air defense system, worth 25 billion yuan. This is the first time that a Middle Eastern country replaces traditional single aircraft purchasing with systematic purchasing. Purchase mode. This victory triggered a chain reaction far beyond expectations. The Saudi royal family urgently suspended the upgrade negotiations with the British Typhoon, and instead assessed the introduction of 60 J-10C. The commander of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards Air Force, IRGC, submitted a 100 aircraft procurement plan to the parliament, and even Venezuela, which is far away from South America, also sent a delegation to investigate the matter. As of early June, the total number of global orders exceeded 300, with an estimated contract value of $24 billion, equivalent to 3 times China's total warplane exports over the past decade. A more far-reaching impact lies in the export of combat concepts. The Pakistan Air Force, PAF, has practiced the cloud kill chain tactic for the first time in an air war, through the Sky Sentinel, high-altitude unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, and the ZDK-03 AWACS. The Air and Space Information Network is constructed, which can increase the speed of battlefield situational awareness to 8-second updates, and guide the Thunderbolt 1-5E to realize coordinated strikes against multiple targets, at a distance out of visual range. The Thunderbolt 1-5E is guided to realize multi-target, coordinated strikes beyond line of sight. This disruptive method of warfare forced France's Dassault Aviation to urgently upgrade the Rafale's Spectre electronic warfare system, but because of the refusal to open the source code of India's Astra missile integration program has reached a stalemate. However, the capacity bottleneck has become a sweet trouble. In order to ensure the mass production of J-20, Changfei Group compressed the production line of J-10CE from 3 to 1. And the annual output dropped to 40 aircraft. Facing the urgent demand from Egypt, China innovatively put forward the 3-stage delivery program. The first 12 aircrafts are directly drawn from the active forces of PLA and delivered after 3 months of refurbishment. The second 16 aircrafts are manufactured by Changfei using the production gap of J-20, and the last 12 aircrafts are arranged to be completed in the newly built Egyptian final assembly plant in 2027. This spot plus flexible production model has become a key to break the delivery deadlock. It is in this context that Indonesia's choice seems particularly delicate. When the world's attention is focused on the J-10CE, the largest economy in Southeast Asia with a GDP of $1.4 trillion, but will bet on 42 used J-10A. Behind the decision is a triple strategic consideration. First, the overwhelming performance advantage of time cost. Indonesia's 11 active Su-30 Mk2 due to the Russian-Ukrainian war led to the supply of spare parts, 70% of the grounded state, and $8.1 billion to order 42 Rafale fighters. The first delivery has been delayed until the end of 2026. Secondly, the compatibility of logistic system has become a stealthy winner. The J-10 adopts the L-31F engine, which has the same origin as the L-31F of Indonesia's current Su-27SK, and the ground crew can master the maintenance essentials after 2 weeks of training. The introduction of the new J-10CE will not only require the rebuilding of the engine overhaul plant, but also the construction of a constant temperature ammunition depot for the Thunderbolt 15 missiles, which is estimated to cost more than $800 million. More critical is the art of geo-balancing. Choosing used fighters with moderate performance successfully circumvents the red line of the U.S. countering America's enemies with Sanctions Act. the very same act that killed Indonesia's plan to purchase the Su-35 in 2018. The strategic wisdom revealed in the details of the deal is amazing. The Chinese side agreed to settle the deal by barter. Indonesia offset 60% of the payment with nickel ore, which not only relieved the pressure on foreign exchange, but also deepened the resource cooperation. The upgrade program is even more customized, retaining the original Russian engine to reduce political risk, but replacing the LKF-601E air-cooled phased array radar, and integrating Indonesia's own Black Scorpion electronic countermeasures pods. The most groundbreaking is the munitions configuration, which allows for a mix of Thunderbolt 1-2E missiles and Russian Mater 77S with fire control system compatibility via a data link converter. The design of this multinational weapons integration platform allows Indonesia to solve the three major problems of warfighting: disconnect, system compatibility, and strategic autonomy at the same time, for $2.1 billion. The deal is triggering a domino effect. Malaysia's Royal Malaysian Air Force, RAF, has launched the Falcon Replacement Program to consider replacing aging MiG-29Ns with second-hand J-10As, with the defense minister revealing that the upgrade cost is only 15% of the cost of purchasing a Rafale, but with 85% of the combat effectiveness. The Philippines, on the other hand, is interested in the adaptability of its island combat. J-10A can take off and land on an airstrip of only 800 meters in length after reinforced landing gear modification, which perfectly matches the needs of the forward deployment of the South China Sea islands and reefs. The response strategy of China's military industry shows the pattern. AVIC set up the Raptor International Upgrade Center and a dedicated production line in Songzhou to increase the refurbishment efficiency of the retired J-10A to 10 aircraft per month. Different customers are offered graded packages. The basic version replaces only the radar and avionics and is priced at $28 million. The gold version adds the turbofan 10B engine and missile warning system, and the diamond version provides technology transfer and allows customers to produce 70% of the parts themselves. This flexible model has activated dormant assets. The PLAS 386 J-10 is in service. If all of them were modified for export, would unleash a market value of $11 billion, equivalent to building 3 more Changfei groups. While international observers are still arguing about the cost-effectiveness of second-hand fighters, real-world data have already given a brutal conclusion. In the September 2025 Eagle Shield exercise in Indonesia, the upgraded J-10 prototype's simulated confrontation with Singapore's F-15SGs recorded a 7-to-3 exchange ratio. The key to victory lies in the battlefield profit system developed by the 38th Institute of Electrotechnology of China through artificial intelligence algorithms to prejudge the enemy's maneuvering trajectory, so that the missile hit rate of the old fighters increased by 40%. This confirms the prediction of Major General Abdul, Chief of Staff of the Indonesian Air Force. The deciding factor in future air battles will no longer be the performance of a single aircraft, but the ability of system integration. The J-10 is like Legos, allowing us to build the most suitable air power with a limited budget. With the opening of the Jakarta Defense Expo just around the corner, the symbolism of this potential order has long transcended the 42 fighters. It signals an era of fragmentation in the global arms trade. Technical barriers painstakingly constructed by traditional giants are being dismantled by flexible and pragmatic solutions. As a report by the US-based Center for Strategic and International Studies noted, when China can offer 12-month delivery, with nickel offsets and technology transfer, while Loma demands a 5-year waiting period plus a human rights review, the rules have changed hands. Those Rafale wrecks that crashed in the Kashmir Valley are now being transformed into signposts for a new order, where a new era of military trade based on real-world effectiveness, resilient supply chains and depoliticization is coming down to earth with the roar of the J-10's engines.